our next question. Let's go ahead and read it to find out how to solve. Mr. Coleman drove 129 miles on Monday. He drove 78 more miles on Tuesday than Monday. How many miles did Mr. Coleman drive altogether on Monday and Tuesday? This means it's a two-step problem. Mr. Coleman drove 129 miles on Monday, but he drove further on Tuesday. And he drove 78 more miles than he did on Monday. And then they want us to find out how many he drove altogether on Monday and on Tuesday. Let's go ahead and highlight some information that we read. Mr. Coleman drove 129 miles on Monday. That's important because we need to know how many he drove on Monday. It's comparing it to how many he drove on Tuesday. He drove 78 more miles on Tuesday than on Monday. So it's comparing it. And it's saying that he drove this more miles. So I went ahead and added a plus sign. Next, it says how many miles did he drive all together on Monday and Tuesday? So to solve this, I would like to use my tape diagram. And in my tape diagram is where I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out what exactly is missing. Right now, they want to know how many miles he drove altogether. So the whole is Monday plus Tuesday. But they're broken apart. On Monday, we know he drove 129 miles. But on Tuesday, we know he drove 78 more miles on Monday than Tuesday. So we don't know what Tuesday is. To solve for Tuesday, we're going to have to add how many miles he drove on Monday plus the 78 to solve. So I'm going to draw a second tape diagram. And this time around, I'm going to make sure that I'm showing that I know what Monday is. $129. And on Tuesday, he drove that plus. So we're going to do that whole bar that represents Tuesday because he drove 129 plus this 78 more miles. So to solve for Tuesday, we're going to have to add 129 plus 78. So on our chart paper, I need to solve for Tuesday. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to write 129 plus 78. And this should equal how many he drove on Tuesday. Now, we got to pick a strategy, but my strategy is just to add it in vertical. What I'm going to do to make sure that I'm adding my units correctly is use my lines to make sure that the units are being added directly underneath the amount they're supposed to be in. Let's start by adding our smallest units, which is our ones place. In the ones, we have 9 and 8. So I'm going to put 9 in my head and count up 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I just made 17. So I'm going to put a 7 here in my ones place and my new 10 below. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my like units. I'm going to add 7 plus 1 plus this 2. And to make sure that I'm adding this right, what I do is circle them to make sure that I'm adding what's actually in that spot. So now this 7 plus 1 becomes 8. So it's 8 plus 2. Let's put 8 in our head and count up 2. 8, 9, 10. We made a 10. So I'm going to put a 0 here and my new hundreds below because I just made a 10 tens, which is hundreds. Now we need to add our hundreds units. 100 plus 100 equals 200. 200. So on Tuesday, he drove 207 miles. So right now we know what Tuesday is. So I'm going to fill in the blank for Tuesday and write 207. But the question said, how many miles did he drive all together on Monday and Tuesday? So step 1, I'm going to write 1, was to solve for Tuesday. Step 2 is to add them all together so that we can find the totals. Now, I'm going to add 207 plus 129. I'm going to write Tuesday next to it. Next, 129. And I'm going to write Monday next to this. So now we're going to go ahead and continue adding. I'm going to make my invisible line, so I'm adding my units in the right spot. And I'm ready to add. Let's go ahead and add 9 ones plus 7 ones. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm going to write a 6 here and my new 10 below. Another way to solve this is knowing that 9 needs 1 more to be 10. So the leftovers are what's going to be left in that spot, which is 6. Now I'm going to add 2 10s plus 1 10 and 0. 0 is nothing. So we're going to focus on these two numbers. 2 plus 1. 2 10s plus 1 10 is 3. Lastly, I'm going to add my hundreds units. 200 plus 100 equals 300. So now we know he drove 336 miles altogether. So I need to write a statement. Mr. Coleman drove 336 miles in all. Now this problem had a multiple choice section. If you chose 207, that means that you only solved for Tuesday. So that's not right. We can't pick that answer. It said how many in all on Monday and Tuesday. The sum of 51 would be too small. That's almost like if we subtracted. That's not right. 285. That's not right either. Well, the correct answer is 336. We know that because we added our like units and we wrote our statement.